a casa dos miúdos ao medicam mais.
Timing, eh?
좀
Good save, Nacho.
Thank you.
Good for not being on the tailway.
Yeah, not one pass.
I won't pick him out for a bogey, but I think that's not a birdie. Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Well done.
Sigue. No, pues está difícil el paso.
Vete, hombre.
More practice. Sorry, man. That's all right.
Whoa.
Okay.
straight.
Oh, good putt.
Thank you.
Came in.
Yeah.
Kan jag jaga upp en 4 tror jag. Slå en lugn 3.
Ja, det var lite kanske från
Jag har mycket plats bakom också.
26, 14. Det var väl fel där.
Titt.
Bra. Kraftigt.
It's okay, yeah.
Åt andra hållet. Den här pulsarna kan. He only should have been on the course. Hit it. He hit it. I should have got the second shot closer. Anyway. That's all right. You're good.
that. Okay, go over there again.
See if this putter flows through the way it did on the birdie part of the previous hole. Pretty good.
I must say, he holds a lot of putts of that length, doesn't he, Peter?
He did last year. He's missed a few this year so far, and still muttering away, even though he should be fairly pleased with that second putt. Ryder Cup buddies.
Neil Briggs, Tony Johnston and Peter Baker, all in the clubhouse on 67. Chris Hall, the club professional playing the tour, got his card last year, is in the clubhouse on 68. Fabrice Tarnot at 4 under 5 to play. Seve, Gromberg, Garrido and Fari all at
Oh, yes. Yeah. Behind it? Behind it, the full carry. Didn't quite anyway. Terrible shots, a bit lucky.
And you couldn't get a better man than John Paramore
Not often you
to
see.
give a decision.
Looks as if he's calling for a second opinion. That's not usually necessary where John's involved. It's often the other way around.
30, by the way, is 2 under. Playing just behind Borrego, Bottomley and Sherborne. 30 playing with Greg Turner, who's 4 under, and Wayne Riley, who's 3 under par.
The European Tour, they play bedded ball through the green, is entitled to be dropped. The United States, just closely mown areas. And I think maybe the one clause in there embedded its own pitch marking ground other than sand.
The whole course is sand.
The whole course is quite sandy, so maybe David Fairty didn't like Paramore's ruling, and he's going to call for the tournament director this week, David Probyn. Although John Paramore is the chief referee, he's serving as a backup official this week.
Well, this is Wayne Riley at the 17th. And this is for 2 to move him to 4 under.
And this week it's Greg Turner being entertained by Wayne Riley and David Fairty, the third player in this group.
It was Constantino Rocca that was being entertained by them last week.
It was the happiest we saw Rocca all last week, falling about himself on the 18th tee, listening to the dialogue between Wayne and David Fairty.
Riley, the Portuguese Open champion, adding that title to the Scottish title he won last year. Andrew Sherborne at the 18th. Well, obviously they've decided all about Fairty.
Just dragging that. Quite a generous pin placement today, just the left bunker to concern player, and it's found out Sherborne. Turner will have been able to learn from Riley's putt all the way across the 17th green. Riley expecting a big break from the right, didn't get it.
Yeah, I was going to get one of the
Turner
other guys
just sliding to the left.
Well, I'm assuming the Fairty incident is over since they have putted up, but no, the ball is still there. No sign of Fairty, and no sign of... Oh, there's John Paramore, who is an expert on the rules and was one of the referees at Augusta this year. 3 European Tour referees were involved at Augusta, and European officials, professionals, also going to be involved, I think, at the US Open this year. Just off the green, leaving the flag in. Notice that Mark Mouland has held his second shot at the 8th for an eagle 2.
That's Carl Sunderson.
5 under he was.
Still 5 under. Out in 31. The 5 under and par 10 and 11.
Back at 17 Turner for par.
Greg Turner, sometimes cross-handed, this time split grip. Oh, and just a quick stroke, pulled it. So 3 putts for a bogey for Turner.
And he drops back to 3 under. Ah, no, we have another official.
Jose Maria Zamora. I don't know what Jose Maria would say. John Paramore has not already said.
It's in the back of the bunker, isn't it?
I think the question is the ball embedded in its pitch mark, or is it rolled into a hole? I'm surprised they're not marking it and pulling it out to see what happens. See what's underneath, whether the ball caused the hole. It's just settled in there.
What would we do if the rules of golf weren't complicated? There'd be nothing to talk about. Oh, and a misputt by Miguel Ángel Jiménez. Runner-up to Colin Montgomery at Dubai earlier this year. Montgomery winning their battle on the last day with that 222 yards driver off the fairway over the water.
It's now been determined David can get a drop. He's already dropped it twice and it's rolled back into the bunker. More than 2 club lengths from the original position.
Wayne Riley's in there.
And you can now place it.
Don't breathe, don't breathe.
Now the ball's in play. Caddy better watch out if the ball starts moving, because it is in play.
And get that rake out the way as well.
So either re-dropped because it rolled more than 2 club lengths from where the ball hit the ground, or it rolled into the bunker twice, in which case that's not allowed. Place. It's rather a delicate one here. Playing with the slope, or jumping up quickly.
David Carter, last week's runner-up, has had a 7 at the par 5 11th, after having made a birdie at the 10th, after having gone to the turn with 9 pars, so he's 1 over. Just looking to see Raymond Russell also 1 over. Out in 36, even par for him. Birdied the 10th as well, but then dropped a couple of shots on the next two. 1 over par, and currently 7 shots off the lead.
So 30 for his par 3, and be interested to find out exactly what that ruling was all about, why a second opinion was needed. David thrusts his left elbow out towards the hole, then tries to keep that left arm solid.
Well done.
And a good putt.
Oh, very good, Radar, very good.
There's a lot of joking going on here, but I don't know whether that was a circle. Oh no, I think he's really quite happy. I laughed at that comment last week when David Ferty put it close. Ah, well hold there by Andrew Sherborne.
Has
As
to be
birdie
for
at the last.
No, I think that's the par out of the bunker.
Well, there you go. 33 back then, 35, 68. Andrew Sherborne at 4 under par. Diego Borrego has finished, and he has finished with a par for a round of 66. Carl Sunison for his par at the 12th.
3 putts for a bogey. Tremendous quartet of par 3s here at El Soler. The 12th and 17th run in similar directions, so today they're into the wind from the right.
This was Borrego. And well, finishing with 3 pars, but he covered the last 8 holes in 4 under. Borrego for 66 to join Fabrice Tarno in the lead. Tarno and Borrego on 66, Briggs and Johnston and Baker with Cabrera on 67, and Hall, Raymond Burns in with a 68, and Sherburn also on 68. And Ross McFarlane is going well on the other 9 because he's had 5 birdies. He's moved to 6 under par, and if he birdies the 9th, he'll be on 7 under and in the lead. Yeah. Just a bit more breezy now. It was dead calm out there on the seafront about 2 or 3 hours ago, but now the waves are just a little bigger and there's a bit of a breeze blowing over El Salar, as there usually is in fairness. Here's Ross McFarlane. Needs a birdie at the last to take the lead on 65.
Quite a likely birdie opportunity here. 2.92 average at this hole. And just smooth 9-irons, big smooth 8-irons or big 9-irons for most of the field. So a chance for McFarlane.
He hasn't had a good start to the season, Peter. You've been checking up on his form to date, and well, you wouldn't have predicted that he would be in the lead today, possibly.
No, he's played 9 tournaments. He did finish 4th at the FMB Championship, the one that Wayne Weston won at Durban Country Club, but only 1 other cut made, so 7 cuts missed out of 9. So good going for McFarlane.
Gordon Brand Jr. at 2 over par, second shot to the 16th. Brand Jr., who had a 63 in the 3rd round last week in Cannes, and then came home in 31 on the last day. Had a chance to win at Cannes, but just let it slip.
So we might have expected Brand to have a great round today, and McFarlane not so good. A super shot from Gordon there.
McFarlane could get another job as an after-dinner speaker. He is fantastic at remembering jokes. Some of them, I would have to say, a bit risque.
I'm sure.
Have you heard the one about... No, I better not. A minute.
Good par 4, 16th. 427. Back right pin placement. That looked as if it started to the right. It did, and it faded a bit more. And an awkward pitch. 15 or 18 feet to work with, but from below the level of the green.
Greg Turner's second to the 18th. Remember, these players started at the first.
With the wind behind, Turner's hit a huge drive down the left side. This is more the prevailing wind.
Wind has wheeled around a bit, hasn't it, from the wind that was blowing this morning when Severiano Ballesteros was on the golf course.
Carl Sunderson playing his second to the 13th. Short par 4, elevated green. And with the wind behind and a steep slope in front of the pin, a tough one to get close. So we jump back to the 18th. Bertie also a good drive and a superb second.
32nd in the Alfred Dunhill PGA Championship down in South Africa and 4th in the FNB. Currently 16th in the European money list. Now called the Volvo ranking. Wayne Riley.
Earlier today we saw players using 3 irons and 4 irons for their second shots. Looks as if it might be a 7 or an 8 for Wayne. 466 yards. Won't be happy with that. Maybe less than an 8 iron. Huge drive for Riley. Willing it closer. Well wide of the target with a short iron with the wind directly behind. Arvo Sandlin. Well, the 15th certainly reachable. Sandlin's hit his second shot all the way to the back of the green.
Linda Lundgren there, his caddy and girlfriend. Oh, very good. Cast down birdie will bring him back to even par. Yamo did not have a good last round at Cannes, and I thought that he might have come through and given the youngsters at the top of the leaderboard a bit of a fright, but it didn't happen for the man who won the Madeira Island Open.
He was just a couple of shots behind third place starting the last round in Cannes. Shot an 80, slipped all the way down to a tie for 53rd. So rather erratic. Sandlin, brilliant, sometimes not so good.
Well, now Ross McFarlane for the lead on 65. Son of a former professional footballer. This for 7 under.
Run right to left there. No? Can't trust those caddies.
But a good round for
I couldn't trust my own eyes
Ross.
either.
Strongest part of his game probably driving. He's very straight off the tee, and that's what's going to be giving many players trouble this week. The rough jungle left and right off every tee. Ross doesn't have that problem. Very straight.
Good value in a pro-am. I tell you, the amateurs enjoy playing a round of golf with Ross McFarlane. Just reminded by a producer who's enjoying his 38th birthday today that Ross McFarlane also led the first round in Madeira when Sandlin won. Jointly leading at the present moment if he taps in his putt for par at the last in just a moment or two.
Wayne Riley started last week with a good first round, 68, and then fell back. And earlier I referred to the fact that he played on his own. The odd man out at the front of the field for the last round in Cannes. Oh, yeah. Just died. So it's going to be a 69, 3 under par for Wayne.
If we wired these two players tomorrow and listened to their on-course chat, it would be highly entertaining. They both have a sense of humour. And Wayne Riley in the clubhouse on 69. Greg Turner. Thought he was going to get that shot back that he dropped at 17, but didn't. So he too putting now for 69. Wayne Westner I see out there, 4 under par. He's got 3 to play. So a couple of 69s from Riley and Greg Turner from down under. Turner from New Zealand and Riley, of course, from Sydney. Raymond Russell, last week's winner, is 1 over par, but he could be even par if he holds this. And he does. We were impressed by his putting stroke last week and his putting generally. In fact, his whole game was very rhythmical, good tempo.
Yes, everything looked very good. Just a shot selection at the 16th, a bit questionable in the last round, but he got away with it. And now a chance for Fairty to make it 3 69s in this groove. That little wager with Riley. He's lost.
I laughed at his comment when he said that USA Network and CBS were looking for him to do some work at the weekend, but he wasn't sure that he would accept. He said, because I'm not used to working at the weekend these days, a reference to the fact that he'd missed so many halfway cuts in America. Of course he does do work for one of the networks.
Carl Sunderson just misses his birdie putt at 13. The graduate of Oklahoma State. He was there with Michael Bradley, Brian Watts, who's done so well in Japan, and Bob May, who's just qualified for the European Tour.
3 players leading the way here, all of them in the clubhouse on 6 under par. Fabrice Tarnot, Ross McFarlane and Diego Borrego. Anyone who wins at El Saler can feel justifiably proud because it's such a tough championship golf course. The wind is usually blowing, the rough is tough in the sense that it's all sand and you can get very bad lies off the fairway. Bernard Langer most recently has won twice here. Frank Nobilo has won here. I wonder if Wayne Westner from South Africa might win his second tour title of the season. He won the FNB and was third in Morocco. That's the cut in Dubai, 71st in Cannes. And he's on 4 under par at the present moment and only 2 shots off the lead, so playing better this week. And this is him. Only 1 shot drop, Peter, so far in the round, and 5 birdies.
208 yards to the pin at 17. 3-iron for Wayne. Most players hitting 3-irons this morning. Flag not standing out there with the wind. Wind is against and across, but perhaps sheltered by the sand dune off to the right side. And that long putt across the green that gave Wayne Riley and Greg Turner trouble.
The players expecting that because the wind is now off the sea, that the wind is going to bring the ball back a little bit. It isn't doing that.
This is a superb hole, slightly elevated green, 5 bunkers around it. It's quite a big green, but it doesn't look it from the tee. It's 47 yards long and quite wide. Doesn't look to be more than 25 yards deep from the tee. 2-iron for Jimenez, as we'd expect. An extra club needed for him. I thought this would be, Westner had a good driving week, good course for him, because it's playing very long. Safely on the green for Jimenez, but it's quite a steep slope in front. I don't know that it can roll all the way off, but quite a good slope in the front quarter of the green back towards the tee. Mitchell, second shot at 15. He does carry a little 5-wood. Haven't seen anybody use a wood into there. We're back to the 15th.
We talked earlier in the broadcast about Gary Nicklaus, who's playing this week, his second European Tour event. He finished level par 72, which means that he's currently lying joint 50th. 1 birdie, 1 bogey, and 16 pars for Gary Nicklaus. (13 and 70), Morocco 70, Guilford 70, Riley 69, Turner 69, Garrido in with a 69, and Seve 69. And in fact, we'll have a look at some of the positions. There's Seve Ballesteros, a 76. Very, very disappointing for him. Peter Baker, 67.
Sansonnet, 1 under par 71. Bolognesi, who played so well in Catalonia, hasn't done so well since. 77 today. There's Bottomley, played alongside Borrego. Gordon Brown Jr., who had such a good weekend last week in Cannes. Broadhurst with a few more to play. But 4 good holes to come for Broadhurst.
Nice start for Raymond Burns, Peter, 68. And Cabrera, 67. Carter at 1 over par after his second place finish last week, I should say, I beg your pardon.
As we watch Carl Sunderson, he's cut his drive off the 14th tee.
Roger Chapman 3 under, 3 to play. But Howard Clark shooting 74.
Caceres back after a break in Argentina. And Andrew Coulthard started with a double bogey 6, but he's come back. Mark Davies started with 3 consecutive birdies, and he's given some of those away.
David Fairty in the clubhouse with a 70, having missed a putt at the last for 69. We'll catch up with more of the scores in just a moment. This is an 8-iron for Carl Sunderson, Peter.
I wonder whether it's an 8-iron just to get over the tree, or whether he's able to reach the green with that. As if he had to come over trees, and with the wind against.
You read it correctly.
That was going to be a long way. There's a well-placed fairway bunker just to the right side of the driving area, very much in play with the wind against.
Back to our scores. No Great drama with that 3-ball. Stephen Gallagher, a 73.
Sergio Garcia, just a teenager still, 2 over par.
Ignacio beating his father by 6. Matthias Gronberg was doing better than that, but fell away, finished 71.
Jean-Louis Guepi hasn't made a cut yet. 3 out of 3 missed cuts after playing so well in Australia this winter. Chris Hall, the club professional, 4 under par this morning. And we have Peter Mitchell, left of the 16th. Long way to go, playing a flat trajectory, letting the ball roll all the way across the green, and a well-played shot.
2 Carlsons there, both 1 under, but unrelated. Paul Lawrie, who won in Catalonia, 3 over, and not taking full advantage of the fine conditions.
Santiago Luna made an eagle to make the cut last week. He'll have to play well tomorrow. And there's Mitchell. Now he has his putt at 16 to stay 1 over par.
Mark Mullen hold his second shot at the 8th, but is still 2 over. Rolf Muntz at 2 over, McAllister at 4 over. Oh, look at that putt bobble along to the hole. It's bound to come up short, I would think. Ross McFarlane there with a 66, which tied the lead, and Gary Nicholas on 72. Saw a lot of Per Nyman last week. Won't see so much of him this week.
Yarmo having to chip back from behind the 16th after his lovely 2-putt birdie at 15. Jim Payne 1 under par again. Looks as if he's going to use those extra few tournaments from his medical extension, regain his exempt status.
Ian Pyman has the chance to finish better than 69. He's got 3 holes to play. He's currently 3 under. Finished in the top 10 last week in Cannes. Stephen Richardson at 1 over. Really expecting Stephen Richardson to get in winning mode again. Not happening for him. Dean Robertson at 2 over. Raymond Russell is his great friend on tour. They played together for Scotland and for Great Britain and Ireland in amateur internationals. David J. Russell at 3 over. He's another of the club professionals playing on tour.
Raymond Russell is putting top part of the screen. There's his score, even par through 15.
Patrick Hoyland at 2 under through 9. Des Smith was 1 under, so he's lost a bit of ground. Fabrice Tarnot in with 66. Raymond Russell is coached by Bob Torrance. Philip Walton on even par. Francisco Valera there at 1 over, and Jean van der Velde on 1 under. Steve Webster still waiting to make a halfway cut. He led the qualifying school last year, is 2 over after 18. Wayne Weston is the man we'll be watching finish. He might just get to 6 under. So perhaps you've seen your favourite or someone that you've watched in the past. We've gone through all the scores and how they stand at the present moment. This is Sandiland. Seeing a lot of putts missed now.
I
wonder if the greens are just getting a little bit bumpier.
I think they're a little softer than the ground staff and the officials would like them. With the rain at the weekend, the course is playing very long. The fairways are softer than they usually are, and maybe late in the day, as you say, a little bumpy. Sennison with that 8-iron from the rough was just trying to escape from behind the trees, and a well-played pitch, plenty of spin into the wind, and a chance to save his par.
Well, all the players on the first page of our leaderboard have completed their rounds. But just in that group on 4 under par, we have Wayne Westner, who has 2 to play. Something wrong with these greens.
So bad.
Well, we've got Fabrice Tarnot from France, Ross McFarlane from England, and Diego Borrego from Spain in the lead here on 66. That's 6 under par in the first round of the Turespana Masters Open. Comunitat Valenciano Paradores de Turismo.
Something like that. I find it much easier.
To say
Andy
it
Williams.
backwards.
No, I haven't tried to say it backwards. Andy Williams, Shearson Lehman Brothers, San Diego Open. I thought that was much easier.
Well hold there by Sunderson.
So saved his par after a really wild drive to the right off the tee at 14.
And on the tee here it's Sandelin and Lundgren golfing partnership on and off the course.
Western hit a 3-iron, probably a 3-iron for Yarmo.
Yes, and we can tell you that Westner 3-putted from long range. Remember, he was way over on the, oh dear, on the other side of the green from the side that Sandelin hit with his tee shot before bouncing into the bunker. And from long range, Westner 3-putted to slip back to 3 under.
Yarmo has up to a 65-degree wedge in his bag, his usual array. Driver 3-wood, then 3-iron through 65-degree wedge. So that deep bunker back left at 17 shouldn't trouble him. Peter Mitchell has also won a tournament over this course, not an official tour event, but in 1992 when he won the Austrian Open, he won a small invitational tournament here, El Corte Inglés Championship. It's a department store in Spain. That one also going left, and not much help from the contours on the left side. Little slope away from the pin to the left traps.
Well, the wind didn't do anything to Westner's shot, but it certainly may have affected these 2 tee shots. Raymond Russell. 51st to 6th in the Volvo Order of Merit with his victory last week. And safely on the green. The main talking point today is Seve. Currently 10 shots off the lead. We'll take a break. More golf from Spain in just a moment.
2 over my. No, 60. Yeah, 1 over maybe.
Welcome back to El Salar in Valencia, where our European golf coverage this week is the Turespana Masters Open in the land of Valencia. Castillon in the north, Valencia in the middle here, and further south on the Costa Blanca, Alicante. Marvellous place for a holiday, 365 days a year. The weather is usually good, and I hope it doesn't rain before the end of this week to prove me wrong.
Again, Angel Jimenez looking for his first birdie, and he's going to be very fortunate to get it from back here. Monster green at the 18th. He's up on the back level, pull hooking that iron shot. His drive was in perfect position. He's had 16 consecutive pars. Peter Mitchell's already played out of the bunker. I'm very surprised he's not getting rid of this piece of paper. And that lofted sandwich, whichever one it was, it might not have been the 65. It's another one about 58, I think he uses. Plenty of trajectory. Landing softly.
Carter to the par 5 15th. I think if anything the later starters have had it slightly more difficult than the morning starters today, Peter. The wind is that much stronger from a different direction, and the greens are not quite as smooth as they were early on. That was Peter Mitchell's recovery shot off tape. Raymond Russell wasn't in the bunker at 17, so he's putting for 2. Look at the ball bobbling along there. We saw Jimenez putt about 15 minutes ago, which bobbled a bit as well. So the players who we're seeing now in the afternoon section of play will be off early tomorrow, so we'll have the better conditions. Originally the Spanish Championship was going to be played here in a few weeks' time, and when they made the switch to bring the Turespana Masters here, it meant extra work for the greenkeeping staff to get the course in tip-top order, and they've done as well as they could possibly do. Yep. Dropped shot for Mitchell. Just looking at the course though, Peter, one or two areas where perhaps a little tidy up in the bunkers wouldn't go amiss. It's such a great course that one feels it should always be kept in the best condition, whether a tournament is coming here or not.
Yes, it's a tremendous course. Not really a weak hole on it. Great variety. Sometimes trees in place, sometimes not. Most of the greens, or many of the greens, very large, with good contouring, providing plenty of variety for pin placements.
A drop shot 2 for Sandlin, another missed putt for him. So a couple of 4s there, Mitchell and Sandlin. Raymond Russell is putting for 3, and well, the way things are going here, Russell's putt is not a gimme.
No, 2 short putts missed in succession by Sandlin. I think with the sun out and the rain earlier in the week, the greens have grown during the day. They've got a bit bumpy. They're a little softer than they might be ideally. Good chance to watch Russell stroke straight back, straight through, and it tried to wiggle off to the right, but he 2 putts for par.
There's bound to be some reaction from last week, the pressure, the concentration of winning. And here's the man he beat last week, David Carter.
David Carter, 3rd in Madeira, 2nd last week in Cannes. At the moment, doesn't look as if he can keep that sequence going. Double bogey at the 11th, knocking him from 1 under to 1 over, and he's parred since then.
Well, there's the situation. Hasn't changed at all, with the three players on 6 under leading the way.
Players are here, they're not doing well. I think we've got a decent field. You know, Brand Jr. should be playing coming in. Bennett, what's he doing? Kurt Ulrich trying to cut the play. I think these two take up technique.
Looks lovely from the air, the El Saler course just outside Valencia, about 20 minutes from the international airport that brings in so many tourists each year to enjoy a Spanish holiday. Wayne Westner with a birdie chance at the last. This for 68.
And a good firm putt, trying to come back from that bogey at 17. Putting was very impressive at the FMB Championship. He also finished tied for third in Morocco a couple of weeks later. There, his putting really wasn't as good, but the long game, tremendous.
You might be interested to know, Peter, that this is fiesta time down here as we look at Wayne Westner's card of 69. You know, there's a popular Christians and Moors festival, which is very popular here, probably because it lasts from April to August. It's a pretty long fiesta. And another missed putt there, this time from Jimenez.
So Jimenez starts with a bogey 5, finishes with a bogey 5. A disappointing round of 74.
And not a birdie on it. Seve Ballesteros managed only one birdie on his card. Jimenez had none at all. Let's look at the 18th, stretching back towards the Parador.
The players glad that the prevailing wind has kicked up, almost directly behind. It's a little right to left. Bunker very much in play on the left side. And the downhill second shot to the huge green, 59 yards deep. 40 yards to get onto the back level. That was where Jimenez finished. Pin today very much where we see it in the helicopter shoot. The average score has gone down a little bit since earlier in the day, 4.13. Surprisingly low average for a hole of 466 yards. Indicative of the wind behind this afternoon.
Sandlin at 18. Can I just remind you that next Monday at 9:30 Eastern Time on the Golf Channel, we have, as part of our Profiles of a Pro series, a personal portrait of the 1995 US Ryder Cup team member Brad Faxon, former winner of the Australian Open, putted superbly to win that title down at Metropolitan. Brad Faxon. Profiles of a Pro next Monday night, 9:30. My apologies to Jarmo Sandlin for talking through his second shot.
A long drive down the right-hand side, almost into the bunker. That's 310 for the tee. And he needs the ball to slow down, come back a little bit. So losing control of it out of the rough. And little chance for a birdie from there. And I hope he doesn't have another 3 or 4 footer for a par.
Next Tuesday in our Masters Highlight Series, it'll be George Archer's victory in 1969 and Jack Nicklaus's win in 1975 that is being highlighted. That's at 9:30 next Tuesday. That 75 victory of Nicklaus's was superb. Brendan Russell second to the last. Well, just getting caught up there on that little upward slope at the front of the green. For an eagle at 15. Silverson could still lead here at the end of the day.
We saw him hitting an iron shot on this fairway. So a huge drive. It's an iron to the front of the green, 564 yards. Not the best lag. Trying to coax it up there and make a simple birdie. Trying to two-putt for a half in a match. Two-putt for the win. You've got the hole one, you're trying to two-putt, and all of a sudden you don't hit a good one, giving the hole away.
Jason Widener from America is currently 4 over. That's through 12.
16th hole runs alongside the practice ground, out of bounds to the left of the 16th. See McGinley practicing in the background. David Carter's second shot. Perfect direction. Good hole back into the wind. 15th, a par 5 downwind. Turn around, 16th into the wind. Huge drive from Peter Mitchell. Lovely approach shot from Mitchell. At the moment tied for most eagles on tour in Europe. Tied with Ian Woosnam. Mitchell's always up in that category. Pretty long off the tee. So gives it a go at the par 5s.
This is Derek Cooper for a birdie. Nearly got it. He's currently 2 over par, playing with Silverson and Olivier Edmond, who got into this week's event with his performance in Cannes last week, finished in the top 10, and he's even par. Cooper remaining at 2 over.
2 birdies and 5 bogeys on his card. Excuse me, 4 bogeys on his card for 2 over. Obviously struggling with his game. Lovely setting. It's like so many links courses in Britain.
Reminds me a little bit of Estella too. Remember the one at Portugal where Stephen Richardson won his first event back in 1991. Helped him into the Ryder Cup team that year, right on the coast in Portugal.
I've not been to that course. A couple of the Australians thought it looked a bit like New South Wales Golf Club, close to Bondi Beach.
There's always very disappointed by Bondi Beach. It's so small.
Except for the waves, perhaps.
Well, the waves are quite big, but it's just a tiny little beach, you know. You think that everything in Australia is going to be huge. Raymond Russell for a 3 at the last.
Long backstroke so he can maintain that good rhythm. Lovely lag.
So Russell will tap in for a round of 73. Citizen for a birdie at 15. Well, the last half hour, 40 minutes or so, has really been a tale of missed putts.
Very
missed
much
chances.
so. Simonsen's had top 10s the last 2 weeks. His father's caddying for him, having a great time. His father, complete golf nut. sat with him briefly at dinner when we were in Catalonia.
I was having lunch today as Sandelin pops that one up and makes sure of his par at the last to finish on 74. I was having lunch today when one of the German tourists watching the golf here said that if he swung his dish round in Germany, he used to be able to get the Golf Channel and thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, he didn't pay for the Golf Channel, but now he says he can't get it, and his question to me was, have they changed their frequency? I said I would try to find out.
On the other side of the course, Ian Pyman, 3 under par today. Most players coming up short with their tee shots at number 9. It's a bunker at the back that seems to scare them. Downhill, downwind. The 9th should be a simple short iron, but they're afraid to get up next to the cup.
Well, if you were a gambler, having seen all the putts that have just been missed in the last 40 minutes, what would you bet on here?
You bet everything this doesn't go in. Peter Mitchell's putting has been a little erratic recently.
Another win, Peter? Sadly, Peter Mitchell's putt does miss. And that's the department of his game that is letting him down at the present moment. Peter Mitchell round in 75. That's 75 including 3 birdies, but a triple bogey 7 at the 6th. And 2 drop shots near the end there. Carter for a birdie at 16. Not as flat as it looks.
Uphill to begin with, and it flattens out. He left a few long lag putts short in the last round of Cannes. 3 putted the second, 3 putted the 4th, 3 putted the 14th in that round. Gave Raymond Russell a little room, and Raymond took advantage of it.
It's always a pleasure to come to the land of Valencia, and I think tomorrow we might enjoy, or even at the weekend, a local paella. Arroz negre.
What is that exactly?
It's a paella dish made from squid ink.
Oh yeah, I'd like that. What are you doing? You know what I forgot to do is I could do it. I forgot to check how the scores were in the morning, in the afternoon, but I'll have a check in the press room. Because I think we're 5 days. I don't think I should have done it when you were doing the clubhouse. Should have done that before anybody finished this afternoon. It's too late now.
Primera Vuelta, El Saler, Valencia. The Turespana Masters Open Comunitat Valenciana Paradores de Turismo. First round of the Turespana Masters at El Saler in Valencia. And the leaderboard shows 3 players leading on 66, Tarno, McFarlane and Borrego, by 1 from Briggs, Johnston, Baker and Cabrera. And that wind really is blowing quite strongly now, and I suspect if we made an analysis of the scores today, the scores were rather better in the morning generally than they have been this afternoon. That's the Mediterranean, the wind blowing off the Mediterranean at the present moment, which is downwind at the 18th, across from the right at the 17th, and very impressive flags on the pins here at El Saler. Ian Pyman for a birdie to finish on 68, and to tie Chris Hall, Raymond Burns and Andrew Sherborne.
Four birdies and 1 bogey so far today for Pyman. Promised so much. Come on. Turning pro after a very successful amateur career. Got his card in a limited number of appearances in 1994. Didn't have to go to the qualifying school, and then struggled to keep his card last year, and really until the British Masters just before the Ryder Cup he had not clinched his card.
Leading amateur in the 1993 Open, which was won by Greg Norman. Greg Norman, so impressive that week in winning his second Open, and probably fortunate not to be playing in the final round with Nick Faldo. Now, Faldo was up there, all the top players were up there, and Greg Norman was in brilliant form, and I'm sure everybody wishes Greg all the best in the next major. But he knows well enough that Faldo will be targeting the US Open, having won the Masters.
So we'll call him Montgomery.
Let's just look down at the list as we come to the end of our coverage of the first round of the Turespana Masters. Peter looking forward to his paella tomorrow. A special paella called, I had it here, Arroz Negre, because it's a paella dish made in squid ink.
Sounds delicious.
I won't tell the viewers. The look on your face would indicate.
No, I'm looking for it. If I see it on the menu, I will definitely order it.
Wayne Riley in the group there on 69. Wayne Westner finished on 69. And Pyman has just finished on 69. The likely cut tomorrow, if the weather stays the same as today, if it's reasonably calm in the morning and a little blowy in the afternoon and sunny, would be probably 2 over, which means that Severiano Ballesteros, with his 4 over 76 today, would need to shoot a score in the 60s tomorrow to make the halfway cut. And you can rest assured that everyone here down in Valencia wants Seve to be playing at the weekend. And no one wants to play at the weekend more than Seve himself. All those players under par. Roderick Harrington at 1 under through 15.
Jose Rosalia is the pro at the Pedrena Club, Seve's home club.
5 shots ahead of Seve at the present
Won't be
moment.
too popular. Showing up his local resident.
Let's not tell Seve. And in all, 49 players are under par on this first day. Not all the players have finished yet, of course. The more we look down that leaderboard, the more it looks like 2 over for the halfway cut.
Another club professional, Jose Cabo, is the professional here at El Saler.
Just a reminder of Golf Central tonight at 7:30. All the news from the world of golf. 7:30 on the Golf Channel every night. Don't miss that one. And remember that in addition to our coverage of the Turespana Masters second round tomorrow, there'll be first round coverage of the Sierra League Classic from the Old Hickory course in Tennessee. Defending champion there, Michelle McGann, who has a fine line in exotic hats. That beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow on the Golf Channel. We're back at 9 o'clock in the morning.
See at the moment 89 players at 1 over par. Huge group in a tie for 66th place. So it's going to be a real run at the cut tomorrow afternoon. A lot of players on the mark.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. What's your weather forecast from Birmingham, England, Peter?
It was for showers tomorrow, but just light showers, nothing too serious. It's been a stunning day to play golf today here close to the Mediterranean.
Well, Fabrice Tarnot, one of the golfers who is jointly in the lead, described this as a very fair golf course that only penalises bad shots. And I'm sad to say that if you're a Severiano Ballesteros fan, Seve hit too many bad shots today. He has got a wrist problem, but he didn't complain about the wrist when he came off. He just said that he didn't hole any putts, and he was as disappointed as anyone that he had managed only one birdie. Maybe more birdies for Seve tomorrow, hopefully more birdies for Seve tomorrow. But certainly it looks as if that 62 by Bernard Langer, that course record, as Peter was saying earlier, is unlikely to be broken if the wind continues to blow. 3 players then in the lead: McFarlane from England, Tarnot from France, and Borrego from Spain. Second round action coming up on the Golf Channel tomorrow at 9 o'clock. From Peter Oosterhuis and myself, goodbye.